Okay, back again. A couple weeks ago I told you guys I got this Gauntlet Legends game. This is one of my favorite games besides Mortal Kombat that I used to play as a kid. Mostly in college when I was at Arizona State University. There was an MK3 right next to a Gauntlet Legends, and the line was so long for this I started playing Gauntlet Legends and actually grew to like it a lot. And then it came out on PlayStation 2 and, I think it was GameCube or something like that. And really enjoy the game. And I've always wanted one, but just have never gotten a chance to get a dedicated cabinet. And this one I came across when I bought those other two cabinets from a place in California. So as you can see, the marquee is quite large. I took off the control panel, which is right here. Cleaned up the Lexan, took out all the buttons because the buttons are kind of dirty and sticky a little bit. These are those 48 or 49 way optical joysticks, which I cleaned up and kind of got them all working again. They all work pretty good, I think. There's no creaking or no rust anywhere, or nothing seems to be not working properly. I'll show you the inside of the control panel. There's all the player harnesses right there, wired up to each one of the controllers. And then inside the cabinet, right here, are all four player harness hookups, 1, 2, 3, and 4. One thing I did when I got this is I noticed when I was in storage that there was a gap between the bezel and the monitor all the way around, and figured out that it was a 25-inch monitor when this game from the factory came with a 27-inch monitor. So about a month ago, the guy that used to fix all my monitors, he moved to California and gave me two of these 27-inch Cortec Golden T monitors. Just so happens that the bolt holes on the monitor, on the chassis here, or the frame rather, this one here and this one here, line up perfectly with the 27-inch monitor that I have. This is a medium resolution that came out of the game, but it's a 25-inch monitor. You can tell just by how much excess is left over here between the frame and the monitor. If you look at a standard 25, you can see that the frame ends at the corner of there. So I looked at it and I figured I'm just going to try it, and I measured it out, and it fit in perfectly. So now I have a 25-inch medium resolution monitor that I can use down the road for something, which is great. I got quite a few monitors in here. I got 3 in here now. Actually 4, I forgot about that one, and then 2 more that are being repaired. So I'll show you. I put the monitor in here and there's no gap anymore. Everything is nice and clear all the way around. The only thing, I think the guy that I bought this from might have trimmed up this plastic bezel on here, and you can kind of see it's kind of wavy a little bit, like they tried to trim it and then do such a hot job. So I might get another one of those at one point in time if I can find one. And then these stickers here, which I found on eBay, are in good shape, but they seem to be curling up, especially in this area right here. You can kind of see it's kind of curling up towards me here. And this one here is the same thing, but overall, I mean, it'll work for now. I turned the game on, it does work, but the hard drive is bad. So, hard drives are like 25, 26 bucks on eBay. Here it is here. I'd imagine in moving this game from California to Las Vegas and such, a lot of banging around, this thing took a beating. So, no big deal on that. I can just get a new one. I might even upgrade the Legends to the Dark Legacy, because that's the game I actually played on PlayStation and GameCube and liked a little bit better. So there's a flash kit, and there's a guy named Topless on the KLOV, the Killer List of Video Games websites, that does these flash drives, as well as Chad at Arcade Cup. So anyways, here's the monitor pot board for the Cortec monitor. You can see it says Cortec right there. And this is a lot easier than the standard monitors that come in these machines. It's got actual push buttons. I don't know if you can hear it. And it's got a menu and all that stuff. It's just a lot easier to use. It's got a degaussing on there if you want to degauss the monitor right there. So I'll give you a little walk around the sides and the back. Out in the sun, this thing looks fantastic. There's one gouge on the side, on this entire side. Other than that, it's pretty much perfect, except for some crap that I can scrape off with my finger, as you can see right here. If I put my finger on this stuff, it comes right off. So I got to clean this up with some Goo Gone or whatnot, but this is the only problem right here, and that wasn't there when I bought the game, but it happened in shipping. So, if that's the worst thing that happened, that's not a big deal. I removed the majority of the T-molding all the way around the monitor and all the way around the cabinet. Kind of crazy, but this is all one piece of T-molding all the way around this entire marquee right here. I don't know how they got it on there. I must have made it like that. I put the thing together, which is quite weird, but I'm going to have to cut it eventually, slice it in half and then pull it off so I can replace it with new yellow T-molding. Here's the rear. You can see how big that marquee is. The nice thing about these is you can fold it down. If you pull it down, it locks either up or down. So now the game looks like this. And what you do is you put the bolts back in these two holes. There's one here and one on the other side, and they kind of, they hold it down like this if you don't have the room for it in your, wherever it may be, your house or your garage or, your arcade operating room, or wherever that was at that time. But all original decals on the back, Atari, the FBI warning, the Atari games, serial number, the date of purchase, November 19th, 1998. And then this silly thing that has come on a couple of Mortal Kombat machines. Here's the PCB. It's quite sunny out here. I don't know if you can make it out, but right here, it's a little dusty in here. It says Vegas 777. This is a pretty popular and expensive board to have. I've had a few of these in the past, and they go for $250 sometimes on eBay, because they have a couple of games that came on here. I can't remember the other ones, but War is one. Obviously, Gauntlet, Legends, and Dark Legacy. I just can't remember the other ones. But this is where the hard drive goes in this slot here. Here's the, I believe it's called an IDE cable, and then the power cable that goes in the back of the hard drive. And then, like I said, I use this. It's a Furious 27 made by Cortec. It's a KT2914F. The nice thing about this monitor is it comes with a VGA cable. And since I bought that Macvision that I use in my MAME, I decided I'd try this thing, which is that little red, green, blue, black sync converter that plugs into the VGA and then plugs right into the actual JAMA connector off the JAMA connector. Here's the original connector for the power for the monitor that was in here. This monitor actually has its own power cord, which is nice. So what I'm going to do is in the bottom here where the manuals are, which is nice, all the original manuals came with this as well, is there's 3 cords. This one here is an aftermarket fan that they put on. You can kind of see it sitting back there. There's the original one here, and there's the aftermarket one. I might remove that because I'm not going to have this thing on 24 hours a day like arcade operators. You have the power supply. It's a Hap or Peter Chew, and obviously the monitor. So there's 3 plugs in here. So what I'm going to do is put a power strip down there, plug all 3 of these in, so I just have 1 cord coming out the back, which would be nice. But I'm pretty excited about this game. Like I said, I've been waiting for quite some time to get this game. I've never really come across one in this good of condition, so I'm pretty excited about it. And it's nice that I had this 27-inch monitor that I can throw right in here and eliminate that gap. So some things that are different on this cabinet than the MK are obviously the marquee is huge. I guess Midway started making these. This is all metal. From here on the side all the way around on the other side, it's all metal. They also, in the front, this doesn't come standard. This is the way these guys put these things on here so they don't get cracked in and stolen. But they cover up all the holes. Like this was a dollar bill acceptor with metal, as well as some bolts that you can't get in. The old MKs, if you look at them, they just have a little slot right here. Sometimes these guys drill holes in them for like little infrared devices, but there's a lot of metal on this cabinet. If you look around the back, which is nice, a big problem with a lot of the MK cabinets I've had in the past is, the corners and edges all get beat to shit, because this is the area that takes all the beating, especially when you tilt the cabinet back. So this is a metal bracket that goes all the way around, and there's the one in the front, but it continues all the way around the back and ends up here. And once again, a protective metal bracket over here, and you can see the difference between the Mortal Kombat one and this one here on the corner. It's just got a big metal bracket, which is nice. So these machines can take a beating. So that's about it. Kind of out of breath right now because I've been doing a lot of stuff here in the garage. I'm also going to be redoing the side art of the MK3. It came damaged from Game On Graphics originally, and as you can see, it's starting to peel off here at the top. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to completely just keep this on here, and I'm going to go over the top with the new stuff, remove the T-molding, and wrap it underneath like I should have done in the first place. But I wanted to try it anyways like this to see what happens. That way it'll just be clean all the way around, and it'll eliminate some of these little bumps and grooves from the original wood. So this one should look real nice. And then I got another surprise coming that I found on eBay to replace this one with in my room, in my game room. So look for that in the next couple weeks. That's going to be a big one. I'm really excited about that one. But back to the Gauntlet. Like I said, I should have this up and running probably in the next couple weeks. Haven't decided if I'm going to buy the flash drive or just an original hard drive to replace this with. But here's this side here, and then I'll see if I can show you the other side. Again, like all my games, I put them on caster wheels. As you can see, I moved it with one hand. You can see them poking out down there. And here's the other side here. And that's about it. So I'll make another video once I get all the new buttons and the T-molding for the control panel, and as well as put it back on there. But I'm also searching for new decals on the sides here and on the front, because you can see there's a little piece that came off when somebody bumped up against it or whatever in the future, or in the past rather. But the Lexan cover is actually in really nice shape. I took it all apart and cleaned it. It's got some scratches here and there, but the color of the control panel is nice, it being purple and black, that you don't really see a lot of the scratches. So I'm going to leave it be, and I don't really know how to cut a piece of Lexan this large. So unless somebody has one for sale somewhere, I don't really know what to do with it. So that's about it. About halfway done with this, I'd say. And like I said, look forward to another couple of videos on this reinstallation of the side art, and then a big surprise probably in 2 weeks. If I don't see you guys then, happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you.